Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Asphyxiate and welcome to another build video. So today we're going to be taking a look at this turret tower design. Straight up, it's probably not the most innovative build, but it's genuinely what people use in like alpha tribes and stuff like that on official and small tribes. I've seen a lot of videos where they have these crazy tower designs and sure in theory they might sound like they'd be good, but in practice they're just not actually that practical. Whereas you're actually kind of likely to see something like this in any base tour on like official or small tribes or stuff like that. So to start with, obviously we've got a lot of bear traps, a lot of foundations, a lot of door frames, and so to explain the reason behind why we have these, this is basically a Titan cage. It also prevents box racers or mana dashing or snowball bombing or like anything strange like that where they just try and rush past your turrets and blow it up. It just helps defend against that. Obviously it doesn't take too much to blow up the double door frames, but you will get shot when you're getting up, and it also just buys you a bit more time. The main reason for having this obviously is to prevent a Desert Titan from being able to bite down your tower instantly. The Desert Titan's bite range is about 12.5 foundations, so by having this cage 12 foundations away from your turrets, you're going to prevent the Titan from being able to come in and just like instantly bite down your whole wall. It's going to have to bite through the cage first and then bite the towers, and hopefully that buys you enough time to either defend against it or have it just die to the towers on its own. Similarly for the top, we've got all these bear traps, and this is just going to stop people being able to drop stegos from the top or like any other soaking dinos from above, and if they do, they're going to get trapped in a bear trap, and by the time it's free, they're just going to die to the turrets anyway. We also have the sky tower on top. It's about 20 walls up, and the tech turrets up here are going to be shooting down, so if they're on a stego, they're just going to get splashed off and the character will die first. You'll also notice that we've got all of these jump pads around the edge, so there is another way of doing this where you can actually place them on the wall first, and then you can vault drop afterwards, and what this does is it means that the jump pads actually inside the vault. Let's quickly activate this. Which is definitely more defendable, like you can have it lined up with the wall better, but yeah, so you can see that it sticks through the vault. So what this means is you can get bounced away, but you can't actually damage the jump pad itself without breaking the vault first. So this is definitely another viable alternative. The only issue is that the range on it isn't as far, so like you have to be pretty close to the vault to actually get knocked back. Like you can see there, you have to be pretty much on top of it. Whereas with these, as soon as you get like even remotely close, you just get bounced back. Having these jump pads is really strong because it means that if someone's trying to come in with a box racer or a stego or whatever and they're trying to blow in, there's a high chance that like when they hop off their dino, they'll just get bounced back. And as soon as they get bounced back, they're just going to get beamed by the turrets and die, and then that's another kit they've got to use to go back in. Obviously, the entire tower is vault dropped. At this point, it's pretty standard for any like built-up tribe to vault drop their towers, because having a tower with just walls and ceilings is pretty weak. Vault dropping it just makes it that much stronger. The inside is just a 2x2 tower. It goes up about 10 walls, and then with just vault drops around the outside. You could probably line it up so that you've only got 3 rows of vaults on each side, but just for simplicity's sake, I went 4 on one side just to cover it a bit better. In terms of your turrets, you definitely want to have a mix of heavies and techs. Depending on your map, you might want more heavies or more techs, depending on how easy Element is to farm on your server. But having a mix is 100% crucial. The heavy turrets will shoot down any explosives like rockets being shot at your towers, whereas the tech turrets won't. And then the tech turrets do splash damage, so if someone's coming in on a stego and they're getting shot from above by tech, the character's actually going to get splash damage, and they'll just get shot off the back of the stego, whereas heavy turrets won't be able to do that. You might notice that I don't have any doors or an entrance into this tower. As soon as you have doors or a hat trim on the top or anything like that to get inside and refill the generator, it's a massive point of weakness, so enemies will be more likely to target that as like their point of entry. The way that you'd fill up the generator in here is you'd get a bunch of dust on yourself, transfer servers, and then spawn in on the bed inside the tower and just turn it into elements and fill the generator that way. Sure, it's a bit more of a hassle doing it that way, but as soon as you have a door on the bottom or like halfway up, or even like a trapdoor on the roof, that's a point where there's no vault and it's just way easier to get inside from there. And then at that point, your entire turret tower is way weaker. You'll also notice I've got these jump pads on the top, so if someone tries to drop a stego on top of your turret tower and blow up the generator from here and come in from the top, there's a high chance that they land on one of these jump pads and just get yeeted off, and then they'll get beamed by the turrets as they're falling as well. There is a small chance that they can land slap bang in the middle and not get knocked off, but it's pretty hard to do if they're dropping from a height, so it's kind of unlikely that that happens. I'm not going to do a full build for this turret tower because it's quite time consuming to build it all again, and a lot of it's fairly straightforward. The inside of it, behind the vaults, is just a 2x2 square. So you would start with that. And then you want to go 10 walls tall. And then you just ceiling off the top. Once you've got that base structure done, you want to put ceilings about halfway up, and that's where you'll put your generator. The reason I have the generator halfway up is so that the radius doesn't have to be as high to power all of the turrets. And it also means that if someone blows in from the bottom, then they've got to grapple up and blow in from the bottom as well. It takes them slightly longer, that's really it. And don't forget to have your beds here as well. Once you've got your generator inside and your beds placed and all the walls up and everything like that, you can actually start vault dropping. The easiest way to vault drop is with 2 people, but you can do it solo as well. What I do is I always have a ladder. Let's get it facing the right way. I always use a ladder to climb up so that I'm perpendicular with the ceilings. And then what you do is you'll just line up against the wall wherever you want to have it, place it, and you can do this solo, but it's easy with 2 people. You can demolish the ceiling, replace the ceiling, place the next vault, and just repeat the process. If you're doing it with 2 people, one person will be picking up the ceiling and the other person will be doing the vault. But you can see here that it works this way as well. So by doing it this way and never moving while you're dropping the vaults, all of them are perfectly lined up and it's very OCD satisfying. The only time that you have to like pay attention to how you're lining it up is when you're starting the next row next to it. And then once you've done that, you can demolish these extra ceilings that we use just for placing the vaults. Once you've vault dropped all the way up to the top, the vaults will be slightly higher than these ceilings here. So what I did is I pre-placed the walls so that when you vault drop, you're not going to be obstructed when you're trying to do the door frames that go up afterwards. And then you vault drop the top ceiling, so it's just 3x3 vaults. You can kind of see there I've got 1 vault, 2 vaults, 3 vaults, and then 1 vault, 2 vault, 3 vaults. So it's just 3x3 on the top. And then once you've dropped all the vaults there, you can place your door frames that go up to the Sky Tower. The Sky Tower is 20 walls high, and it's just a simple 2x2 with another generator inside as well. Everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. Once you've vault dropped, you just place the hatch frames through. You can place the hatch frames through the vaults, so you don't have to worry about doing that first or anything like that. In fact, I would definitely recommend doing the hatch frames after, because if you do it beforehand, there's a small chance that the vaults will just land on part of the hatch frame and just stay there and they won't fall all the way to the bottom. And then you can always just place the hatch frames afterwards, which is really easy. The only thing you have to place first are the walls down inside these vaults, because otherwise if you try and do it afterwards, they're going to be obstructed. That being said, if you have any questions about how this is built, definitely just leave a comment down below. I read all my comments so I can answer any questions you do have. That is going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this build video. Let me know what you think of the turret tower design in the comments down below. As I mentioned before, I know it's nothing crazy or like new or innovative, but genuinely this is just stock standard. This is what people actually use, rather than those like crazy turret tower designs that, you know, they claim they're unrateable and just they're weird and no one actually uses them. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to smash the like button for me, and if you're new here and you want to see more content, then hit the subscribe button. We actually have a 1,000 sub goal going on at the moment, so if we reach 1,000 subs before Genesis 2 comes out, I'll be doing a Genesis Season Pass giveaway as well. But that's it from me for the time being, so I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.